Welcome to Effortless Being, where it takes no effort to be. Have a guest with me, Judith Newman. How are you?
I'm very well,
That's
very
great.
well.
Good.
Yes,
So glad we could connect.
yes. We've tried a few times, but when the timing is right, it just
Yeah,
happens.
it's effortless.
Yes, it happens when it's right. And it's a beautiful sunny day here, although it's winter, it's freezing, but it's nice.
Oh, it's winter.
hmm
Tell the
What's
audience
going
where
on
you're
in more?
where tell the audience where you're from so they know.
Well, I'm in Australia. I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Hmm.
And so it's midday here, or just after midday. And even though the sun is shining, it's always um, nice even in winter because the sun shines. The sky is really blue today,
Mm.
but it's chilly, quite chilly.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
summertime here in the United States, where I'm in Pennsylvania. It's sunny
yeah.
today and hot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I have a friend in South Carolina.
Oh,
North Carolina, sorry, North Carolina, which is closer to you. Yeah,
yeah, Pennsylvania. It's not, yeah, a few states
yeah. It's
over.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I've been to visit her. I was there in 2019.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I believe you're going somewhere. You're traveling somewhere soon.
Yes, leaving in about July 1st I leave, so it's not too far away. Flying to
Mm,
Amsterdam.
been there. It's
I've
lovely.
never I've never been to Amsterdam. I'm excited to go.
hmm
Tell me about Amsterdam.
Well, I was there for a short visit because um, I went to Europe in 2014, mainly to see the artwork and the Louvre and places like that that I'd always wanted to go to. And so suddenly, like everything, all of a sudden this trip came up and I
Yeah,
said, yes. I
yeah.
said, yes, I'll go. and and off I went. But it was like misconnection. It seemed as though, because it was one of my cousins was going, and he said, why don't you come? So I said, yeah, I'll come. But we booked our flights at, slightly, the timing was slightly off, but it was obviously for a reason. And
Yeah.
in any case, I went to Paris, saw, the artwork and then the south of France is beautiful. I went down there
Everybody
for,
keeps talking about the south of France, how gorgeous it is there. I keep hearing that.
yeah, I went there for a week. I spent a week down there.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
lovely.
Hmm.
It's lovely. And then I went up to Amsterdam. Amsterdam, I just went for the galleries. I wanted to see the artwork close up, and it was much nicer than actually even Paris because there's
Wow.
such a crowd at the Louvre and everything. Everyone
Yeah,
goes there.
yeah.
Um, the galleries in Amsterdam were no one there. I'd get up first thing in the morning and I'd be close up with these
Great.
amazing works of art. Um, it's interesting that we can talk about that in a sense because really what came up for me around that time, 2014, was I was standing in front of a work of Rothko's art, and this actually came to mind this morning as I was doing some work around here. I'm in my studio at the moment, and his work is non-conceptual, so it's just color, blocks of color. But there's a Rothko chapel in America somewhere. I think it's in Texas, around somewhere. I think in Texas. Anyway, the work being non-conceptual, you stand in front of it, and the mind has nowhere to go.
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
The mind. So the mind cannot make any sense of what it is seeing because there's nothing there but color.
Hmm.
So it literally stops your mind,
Beautiful.
and it makes you sense, it makes you actually go inward.
Mm.
And what is it you're actually feeling and sensing? So in that way, it says a lot. I mean, it's opening you up, it's opening the viewer up to what's within them as opposed to what you're seeing externally.
So it takes you more inward than outward
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Mm-hmm.
non-conceptual, so the mind can't
Yes.
grasp it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it takes you out of duality, the non-dual understanding of, oh yeah, there's a tree and I'm here and there's a car and whatever.
Yeah.
But here suddenly you're open. It's like,
Mm.
what's this? And it actually gets rid of the person or the thinking mind.
So there's no person there, right?
Mm, yes. So for me, suddenly there I was gone. I was
Where'd Judith go?
like, oh, and then somebody spoke next to me and I came back. But or Jude came back. And so I've written about that many times and I've spoken about it many times before. And it's a wonderful thing how music and art can sort of take you out of yourself.
Mm.
Although sometimes music can link a prior emotion to something you hear or whatever.
Yeah.
But the beauty of non conceptual awareness is profound.
Yeah, because we're so used to being the subject object mode. Many people are conditioned into that, like I'm here,
Mm.
Rob's here, or Judith is here, and then the world's out there. It's almost like you're aware of that. So it's like separation. But I know what you're talking
Mm.
about is non-conceptual. So
Yes,
everything is within you and everything is
that,
one.
that's right. Everything is within you. You said it. Um, there's so many people still, and it's a process I think we go through because even after realization, there's still a process that we go through
Hmm.
because I have never known anyone that where the mind just stops. you know,
I don't either.
I I don't know anybody where the mind just stops, and certainly didn't happen that way for me. It so the process that you go through, and I think what a lot of people are finding at the moment is there's this sense of vulnerability dropping into the now and to the no self, so to speak, is quite a vulnerable sort of place to be. It's almost like, well, how do I function? Because I'm still in physical form. There's still a physical form. How do I function? So there's that vulnerability, would you say?
I would say that it's all been happening anyway, and it's a case of mistaken identity, and that there's no doer here doing it or no one controlling it. And it's always been that way. We would just identify with the mind as a doer and a controller that was controlling it. And then that's seen through that there's no person here and there's no separation, then there's the realization that everything's happening effortlessly and it's going by itself and it's just happening effortlessly. And that's the way that it's always been. It's just that we've mistaken
Mistaken.
this identity for being a Rob that was a doer that was controlling everything.
Yes, yes, and exactly, exactly. But I find that at the moment, for a lot of people who are heavily invested in the mentor concept,
Hmm.
suddenly to realize that there's actually nothing, you know,
Yeah.
can be quite a scary thing. And
Mm.
so that's what I meant by the vulnerability, because
Oh yeah.
it's almost like, well, knowing your true nature or having that pointed out, that kind of lessens that vulnerability,
Hmm.
because you understand that this is the ground of being that's always been there.
Yes.
So there's
What?
no. Mhm.
No, I was gonna say, was it that way for you? Did you feel the vulnerability when you discovered that you weren't the controller and you weren't the doer and that there was no one here? Did you feel that vulnerability when you saw that there was nothing?
um, I have to think back. It happened suddenly for me first. It happened out of the blue. I didn't know anything about this. So it happened quite out of the blue. And I think that was the stage where I was meditating a lot, and I was doing yoga and meditating, and really focused in that sense a lot. And suddenly I had myself revealed to me. It's like suddenly I saw the self, the true self, revealed to me. And that kind of opened me up, opened my heart up to, wow, something I'd never experienced before. At the same time, unity consciousness came in as well, which was like, there's no other. There's me. There's no, I'm that. And I'm here, I'm that. And and it was like, I do remember feeling I'm home. It was like a homecoming feeling. I'm home. I'm finally home. But the suddenness of that I had no, I mean, it was beautiful, and it was lovely and everything, but also the grounding of that became quite difficult, because the extreme, my family couldn't cope with that. And so everything fell apart over there, over on the other side of it.
Hmm.
So all that was not true was falling away, and what was true was suddenly here, so to
Mm.
speak. You know,
Hmm.
and that's the only way I can describe it.
Yes.
Um, but at the time, I couldn't describe it that way. I had no idea,
Right.
and there was no one to point that out to me either. That that understood that either. So it was quite a quite an interesting. When I look back
Yeah.
now, I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
So from this perspective now, I can see my whole life, this whole life experience, the human experience, let's say, because it's not separate from who I am. The human experience was profound. That's how I see it. It was not painful. It's like it's completely rewritten itself, so to speak.
Beautiful.
That's what happens, because if you're seeing things from the identity of a limited person, then everything's a problem.
Yeah, right.
Everything's like, oh, the world, the sky's falling in. No, but when you see it from the bigger perspective,
From the
you
essence.
know, from the essence, from the limitless perspective of true nature, you go, oh wow, a magical ride.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
What about you?
Yeah, when I had always identified with being a separate person with Rob with limitations, but then it
Mm,
was seen, that there's this silent awareness, this presence that's almost like looking back, and it's here and it's everywhere, and it's impersonal and it's silent and quiet. It's still, doesn't move, and it doesn't talk back. Like it's just always here. And it's always been here. It's just that I was identifying with these thoughts, that
mm,
made up this person called Rob, and it was just a collection of thoughts, and it was seen through. So when that was seen through, it was like, oh, okay, this it was here the whole time. I just kind of just overlooked it,
mm.
but it's always
Yeah,
been here. I've just, mistaken it for, I didn't even realize that it was right here the whole time, and
mm,
identifying with Rob and the character was a limited experience, because you have your limitation. Like you said, everything's a problem when you're looking from the thoughts and the character, but it was seen through that they're just thoughts, and it's not real. It's not really what it is. It's not real.
mm.
But this presence, this loving presence, or this space, this infinite space of beingness that's always here, you know, it includes everything.
Yes, yes. It it feels like it's so powerful. Is the only word that I can use to describe it. It actually felt so powerful that when it did come in that first time, it felt like such a powerful force almost. And yet soft and gentle. And I think a lot, I've heard a few people describe it as a feminine energy. And I feel the reason they describe it as a feminine energy is because it's very soft and gentle and quiet. It's not loud and forceful, and it's there. And that's why we don't usually notice it, because it's there all the time.
Yeah.
It's underlying, it's there all the time. It's just this quiet life force energy that is flowing through everything. And I used to, as a child, I was saying to David Bingham when I spoke to him, as a child, I used to wonder, why are you pushing and shoving to get what you want? It's just there,
Your
you know,
intuition. Yeah.
which really, that's the way it is. It's like you don't have to push and shove and, you know,
Forth all the
deny stuff.
effort and striving and effort,
Yes,
figuring
striving,
things out, and yeah, it's exhausting,
yeah. It's so
unnecessary.
it's totally unnecessary. I mean, that was part of the physical world that we lived in. And I mean, I came into it and he said, you know, you're not from here. And I went, I felt like I wasn't from here because I felt like an alien in this place for a long time, because I was like, I would look at people and go, why are you doing that? You know, or what do you need to do that for? But so for me, it had to, it was a shift that had to really turn around and recognize that there is a, for me, there was a sense of vulnerability being in that world of aggressive human
Hmm.
behavior, so to speak. And and when I realized, oh, hang on a minute, it's not actually vulnerability the way we the English language describes it. It's actually not that. So words are so insignificant when you come to this place where
Yeah.
it's like words mean. The word actually doesn't mean anything.
No.
Doesn't mean the same.
Words
Doesn't
can't
mean
even
the same thing
describe
at
it. Words
all.
can't describe it at all. It's almost like you can
No.
eliminate words and eliminate language, and
Yeah.
then it's clearer. Yeah.
Yes. And that's what I meant about Rothko. Eliminate the context. Eliminate words. Eliminate the context. There it is.
Yes.
That's
Perfect.
it's just that. Just this.
Yeah. So clear. When you eliminate the words and the language, you just erased it. No
Mm-hmm.
past, no future, just no words, no language, no past, no future. This, even this is taken away from that. So it's immediate. It's direct. It's very direct,
Yeah.
sobering.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Um, One thing I would like to actually do is to visit America again, just to see the Rothko Chapel, just to sit in the Rothko Chapel, and because it's called the Rothko Chapel, it's a huge building. Just, I think it's octagonal. I'm not sure, but there's a dome type. It's a dome type building
Hmm.
with all his paintings around, and so that people go in to that space and come out different. So, which is remarkable. I think that's just remarkable. And I would like to actually just visit there. So I'll put that out into the universe and
Yeah.
see.
I'm in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania. You can come if you come to Pennsylvania, I can put you up over here. Of
that's nice. Thank you. I
course,
have
you always have that offer.
I have people in North Carolina as well. So yeah, it's
You,
lovely.
you got options.
I liked it. It's such a wide open space, America, isn't it?
Yes, very wide open.
Yeah.
Lots of
I
space.
I noticed that here I'm in a suburb, so it's, the neighbours are close by and across the road and all of that. In that sense, it's nice, like a community, but I also like the wide open spaces and
Your true nature is wide open,
yes,
spacious.
so it doesn't matter where you are, really. It
No,
actually doesn't matter where you are.
nope, does not. You're
So
always here.
home is within, and so it doesn't matter where you are, what the physical location is. It matters not. So that's something that's interesting.
Yeah.
Mm. So what's going on in your world?
Um, Going to Amsterdam. Do you know Julie Cloutier? She was on the David Bingham channel. I don't know if you know
Hmm.
her. Oh, you know Julie?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
she's gonna be meeting me out in Amsterdam with her husband, and my wife's going. So the four of us we're gonna go on the cruise together. So that should be fun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, her and I wrote a book together called Effortless Abundance.
All right.
You know, like a lot of people think that they have to work hard and strive and put forth all this effort, you know,
Mm.
because they come from like lack, so they're trying to manifest all these things. So
Yes.
we I don't know, the book just came about effortlessly, and it just talks about how abundance is already right here, right now,
Yeah.
right in this moment. It's here and it's effortless, when you're in alignment with your true nature.
Yeah.
When you can see it, it's all around us, but a lot of people, are struggling and striving and whatever to try to get that. So we have that book, and then we're doing a experiment with the book where it's like a 12-week Zoom calls we do one a week, and we're going to just go bring the book into it each chapter, and so people can experiment, with applying these things or seeing these things in the 3D. So we'll see what happens with that.
Mm. At the same time that when I went to Amsterdam and Europe, everything was just effortlessly coming in for me. I was painting and exhibitions would just pop up. You know, I was saying to my son, or actually, I went to bed one night thinking, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to have an exhibition in New York? And I thought, oh, wow, that's just, like, whoa, kind of thing. Well, I woke up the next morning and there was an email from a gallery in New York.
See? Wow.
And I went, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I ran into the lounge room. My son was living with me then. And I said, you wouldn't believe it. And he just looked at me like, what? So that's how effortless
Yeah.
it was. So everything just kind of was going effortlessly.
Beautiful.
So, and you don't have to do any, like you said, you don't have to do anything.
That's great, right?
You don't have to do anything.
It's
It's
all
like
happening on its own
you're
effortlessly.
the energy.
It's almost like when we're striving or doing all these things, almost like we're getting in the way of it. Like we're just making it harder than what it needs to be. And then we resist it from coming in if we would just allow it and get out of the
Yes,
way and just let it do its thing because it's doing it anyway. Like,
yes.
you
Which is
know?
what I said to which is what I said to David. I said I was watching people pushing and shoving to get what
Mhm.
they want. It's like, get out of the way, I want this. And I was like, what are you doing that for?
Everywhere.
Yeah, even as a child, I knew that. So it was just,
It's
that's
going
what
to
I
be
meant
brought,
by,
it's going to be brought, it's going to be brought effortlessly. It's done effortlessly.
it is through your energetic vibration, through your energetic frequency and vibration.
Hmm.
So through that, it's just there. And there's nothing to, and that's how this, the new is going to be. You know, the new way of being will be. But first, the old must collapse. That old patriarchal way of, I have to have more so I can be more, whatever. Survival of the fittest, I would say, is what that was.
Hmm.
And that needs to collapse. And I think there's a vulnerability in, you know, the people that are very much in that survival mode. It's like, how do I let go of that and how will I survive? Well, you will. You will. But the energetic, the energy must shift. The frequency must shift. So it's like tuning your radio to, you know, you tune it to the negative channel, well, that's what you will get. You tune it to, you know, your true nature, which is ever present and it was always there, is always there. That's what you will get. So, and that is always peaceful. Our true nature is peace and joy, you know, and abundance. Everything is there. I mean, even the word abundance doesn't apply anymore. It's just that,
Yeah, you're right.
you know, it is just that. So, so that was quite an interesting chapter.
Yeah. I love when you say about frequency and how the frequency needs to change because everything's through frequency and vibration and
We are energy.
yeah.
So it depends on what your energy is, what is emanating.
Yeah, it's like that signal you're putting out is what's coming back or you're attracting
Mm,
in that energy field. So if
mm,
you're in alignment, if you're on the frequency of your true nature, knowing what you truly are, then that's peaceful, that's joyful,
mm.
you know, then that's what's gonna be on that frequency.
It's limitless. And, you know, the place that I'm sitting in at the moment is abundance, and all of that doesn't even it doesn't even enter into my
You don't have to think about it. It just happens
spectrum.
automatically. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
all
It's
it's as if
irrelevant, right?
it's irrelevant was the word I was looking for. It's irrelevant. It's
So then,
just
so some may say, well, how about, I mean, I know, how about your everyday life? Like, how do we pay the bills? How do we, take care of things? Like, so, like, there's a lot of people, that may be listening to this that they're thinking that or in that consciousness. Like, what would you say to them?
well, I went through that. I went through a phase where, oh God, how do I pay the bills and what do I have to do? Well, I went out and I found a job.
Mhm.
Actually, I didn't go out and find a job. Sorry, I tell. It
Erase
came
that.
to me. It
It,
came here. It came
it just
to
came. It
me.
was delivered to you. Yeah.
Came to me. No, seriously, it came to
Yeah.
me. But I was in that state of, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And then I saw the difference. I saw the fear, which is an old paradigm of survival, which is what a lot of people are going through now, right? Let's
Right.
just say.
Correct. Yeah.
So I experienced that, which is the survival, and then where that was from, that was conditioning, that was part of the old human needing to survive to whatever, whatever. And then there's the other, which is okay, I trust. And then, but I had to speak it out. And then suddenly it appeared to me. And it was a job that I didn't really want to do, but I did it. And slowly it picked up. It picked up. And then all of a sudden, there's this abundance of money coming in, like suddenly. And I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I mean, even this place I live, um, I had to leave it in 2016 or something. And there it was again when I was looking. I was like, oh my gosh. My brother said to me, your house is up for rent again. You were really comfortable there. Do you want to? I said, no, it's not. I had a look. I didn't see it. He said, yes, it is. There's a picture of it up there on the website. I went and looked, and I went, oh my gosh, it is. I rang them up and I said, hey, I don't need to see it. I've already been there. He said, fine. The lady said, absolutely. It's just like,
So it came right
there
back.
it is.
That's great. I love that story.
There it is.
Yeah.
So all of these, it's like when you trust, when you're in alignment and you trust in the resonance of yourself, really, you're not trusting anything outside of you. You're trusting the resonance of your own spirit, your true nature. So when you trust that, I think that's where some people get a little confused. You're not trusting somebody outside of you. You're trusting yourself, your true nature. So you're
Yes.
not trusting a guru or a god somewhere or whatever. Everything's here.
Would you
You
say
are
that's
it.
your inner knowing, your intuition, or would we give a name to it? Or yeah.
Yes. What I would say is the mind, the intellectual mind of the human shifts to a knowing. It shifts into knowing. There's a difference. So the knowing comes from within, just like the mind, also was there. But you notice the difference. You begin to notice the difference. That's why it's I think it's imperative to be in silence and to be actually quiet with yourself, not too much disturbance, because when there's disturbance, you can't actually listen. You're distracted and you're not listening within. That's the way it happened for me anyway. That I just needed silence
Mhm. Yeah,
to
no,
to really, to make that shift and to make that core understanding of what's true and what's not true, and what matters and what doesn't matter, and that what's the old conditioning and what's truly here, what's always been here. I think we need that silence to make that connection. What do you think?
a person's, people listening, if they're sitting here in silence and they're wondering, okay, well, I'm trying to determine what's my mind, what's my intuition. There's some thoughts that come that say that I'm a limited person, or, maybe that they feel like they're negative or limiting or contracting. So then I say, well, that's probably mine then. That's coming in. But if I have my intuition, it's just like an automatic knowing. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just happening automatically, and I feel expansive and effortless and easy and joyful. Then, well, that's coming from my intuition. Something like this. Do you see it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how you can tell the difference.
Yes. Because the mind will come in and it's like it's as if the mind, it's like a record stuck on repeat. And it's like, oh, I've had that before. That's just playing, continuously playing. Yeah, there it comes again. So for me, it was not push that off the table, just wipe that off. No, go deep into it. If it keeps persisting, so if something comes in and it keeps persisting,
Hmm.
go right into it fearlessly, go right through to the end, and you'll come out the other end and see that it was just hot air. It's like clouds. It's like a cloud, and it keeps going past. And it's like, okay, behind that is the sky, the blue sky, which is always there. So it's these thoughts that keep going, and it's like, oh, I recognize that. You've been there before. Okay, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to show me? What do you want to say? And it will show you something that was stuck. And you go, oh, and it'll show you the new way of looking at it, which your true nature is trying to show you the new way of perceiving it or looking at it. It's like, look at it from this angle. When you're looking at it from the person, it's annoying and it's stuck. You look at it from the true nature perspective and you go, oh, okay, I see that. It
Do you
actually
think,
wasn't that at all.
do you think when these thoughts are coming, and they're innocently just coming up in this space of beingness, this impersonal space of beingness that we are, there's thoughts, like you said, clouds, our true nature is the sky, we're the sky, but these thoughts are coming. Do you think people are reaching down into the clouds and like personalizing them, saying, oh, this particular cloud or this particular thought, that applies to a me? I think that's what they're doing is they're personalizing the thoughts because the thoughts are there and they're just saying that, well, those thoughts apply to me, Rob, or me, Judith.
Yes, because they're looking from the bottom
Yeah, the bottom up. Yeah, I see. From the
up.
person. Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of
I
from the
actually wrote,
sky. Yeah.
yes, I wrote a post just, I hadn't written blog posts for quite a while, about a year, I think. And I just wrote one last week and I posted it. It's actually, we look at things from the bottom up. So from the human up, but it's actually, it's from the top down is more real than from the bottom up.
That changes the perspective.
It sure does. It sure does. It's So from the bottom up is the dream or the illusion, and this is all, the unreal, appearing real. But if you're looking from the top down, that's what's real, and you see it differently. You see things, which is what we just described, but you see it differently. So, and that takes you into a whole another realm, which is the astral plane and all of that, which is more real than here, because the physical is actually, you've imagined yourself into physicality. And so you imagine yourself into anything.
Mm.
So it's the essence of the being that. So how can I say this now? How can I put this? So from the essence, you infuse your essence into whatever it is you're doing, i.e., Rothko painting. So he infused his essence into the painting, and that mirrored back to whoever's looking at it as their essence, you see, which is what we were talking about a while ago. So that's the essence. So you can be mirroring presence. You can mirror presence just from your being. You don't have to do anything. Or you can do something like paint it or sing it or whatever. But the essence of it, your essence, your true nature, your divine self, whatever you want to call it, comes through when it is authentic, when it is true, authentic essence comes through. There's music that moves people to tears. You've heard that, I'm sure.
Sure, yeah.
Music that just moves people to tears. That's because it has come from true essence, and what they're hearing is what they've been looking for within themselves, mirrored back to themselves. It's simply beautiful. Everything is connected. Everything is connected.
Yeah, I like the way you talk about mirroring. That's kind of one of the things I've been doing on my website. I offer mirror
Mm.
sessions with people where they can get on a Zoom call with me, and I just, I'm just like the mirror and just reflecting true nature back to them. And it's almost like consciousness is just revealing back to nothing I'm doing. It's just consciousness doing it. I'm just holding up like a mirror, just reflecting back. So they'll, whatever's alive for them, let them speak, meet them where they're at, and then just reflect. Because when I'm looking at them, I see them as the infinite being. I see them as whole and complete. I don't see that they need to be fixed or anything. I can kind of see through, the illusion or the consciousness playing this game. But I
That's
just,
unity consciousness.
yes,
So that's unity consciousness comes in where there's no difference between yourself or the other. That's unity consciousness. I experienced that quite a while ago when it came out of nowhere. And there has to be a heart resonance. Uh, that I noticed, because the mind actually falls into the heart space and everything opens up. And then then there's, because from there, there's no connection to abundance or anything. There's no manifestation. What manifestation? It's like, what are you trying to manifest? Everything is, you're just spirit. Manifestation and all those things come from, still, if there's still an identification with a physical body.
Right.
There's none of that when you recognize that you're pure spirit.
Yes.
And you can actually, I suppose this is a topic for another conversation, but you can go into, you can live as the physical, but you can also live out of physicality.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Mm.
So if a lot of people looking might watching might say, okay, well, Judith, I still feel like, I have to use this physical body to navigate in the everyday world. I know what you're saying, our true essence is spirit, I'm the infinite being, but I'm still having this human experience. So how do I mean, I know the mind wants to understand it.
Well, there must be, I would say there's something that's very, there's a, there's a component that's necessary. And the necessary component is to be stable here in physicality. So you must have a stable place where you're safe. Okay. So we're wired that way. And so it's almost like fight or flight.
Hmm.
Those things will come in. So it's not like, it's like an animal in the jungle. You're not going to be hurt. You're safe. You're in a safe space, and then you can actually open up. You can't open you. It's impossible to tell someone open up. You're free when they have bills to pay. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
not going to happen.
They have to
It's
take
not
care
going
of
to happen.
those needs first before they can do
Take
that.
care of your needs first in the physical. You know, become stable. Have your enough money and what have you. If you need to get a job to do that, do that. Something will come that will be appropriate for you to do. And I taught art for a while to stabilize myself. And then I found that it was restricting because the people that I was teaching art, I wanted to expand and they didn't want to expand. They wanted to stay contracted. So I saw that there was a difference and I said, thank you very much. And I moved on to something else. So it becomes, you become aware of where the energy is trying to move you. And you've got to be able to flow with that. Don't
Mm,
stay stuck. If the energy you're in is stuck, there's no point staying there because you're not going to go anywhere with that.
right.
We're here to expand and to flow and all of that. So it's like, keep moving.
So now that you're
What,
not
what,
doing the art, what are you doing now?
what do they say? The one constant is change. The only
Yeah,
one
that's
constant,
true.
which is which is exactly. So I do my own art actually, and I do a lot of writing and poetry and painting. So where it's going, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it will go somewhere.
And the bills still get paid and life still goes
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah. Money comes in, the bills are paid, and it's effortless, and I'm happy. The thing is to be passionate. Passion is a different word, has a different meaning to. It's like you become passionate about what it is you're doing without without oh, I'm doing this because I can get something for it. No,
Right.
that's not it. That's not
Right.
passion. Passion is a genuine um, expression, simply a genuine expression, and it could be talking, it could be writing, it could be painting, it could be singing, it could be whatever, helping other people, whatever. But if it's a passion,
Mhm.
it's not a means to an end.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes. That gives
it's not a
clarity.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I think many people will benefit that. Yeah.
I
Have
hope
passion for
so.
whatever it is that you're doing.
Mm, mm. I mean, it could be gardening.
Yeah. If you're
It
passionate
could be.
about it.
If it's your passion, if you absolutely love gardening and plants and what have you, I mean, somebody could come along and say, "Hey, Jude, would you like to, I need someone to tend my garden. Do you mind?" Sure.
Yeah, you're excited to
And
do
then
it.
there
And it
you
doesn't even,
go.
and then it wouldn't even feel like work. If it's like time's
That's
going by,
right.
you're just having fun. Like, I'm getting paid to have fun. What?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm getting fun.
That's
I'm
what it
getting paid to
is.
play. I'm getting paid to play in the garden.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then whereas you have
That's what I
somebody else
mean.
who's like, oh, I got to get up early for work. Oh, I hate my job. I'm doing something I hate. There's no, they don't have that passion. They're good. They're doing it just so they can get the paycheck. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
There's a
So
difference.
there's a big difference.
Definitely.
Yeah. So everything becomes a joy. It's
Sure.
it's it's the joy of living then, you know. It's the excitement of living. It's like, oh, I can't wait to get out in the garden this morning. You leap out of bed. I had that. I lived through that one a long time ago. I used to leap out of bed in the morning to be in my garden
Aw.
because I was so passionate about it.
Now you're passionate about the art, right?
Yeah. Now things have, what I'm actually passionate about is at the moment, I wouldn't say it's art. I'm passionate about expressing that which cannot be expressed in words.
Pointing people to their true nature.
Yes. It could appear in any way. It could appear through talking to people. It could appear through simply sitting in front of them and them just recognizing it through peace and presence. It could be in any way. I'm open to it. I'm not defining it as a, you know,
You're open and available. You're not saying how. It just you leave it up.
yes,
You're open and available.
yes. I'm not saying how it should
The
be.
how isn't
I'm not,
important. Yeah.
the how is not important.
Mm.
Um, so everything has evolved from creating gardens to making paintings to whatever. It just keeps evolving. You keep evolving to a different, you know, I never stay still. I haven't stayed still in terms of, like I used to teach. Somebody asked me just the other day, "Do you still teach yoga and meditation?" I said, "Oh, I gave that up a long time ago. I used to teach that like 30 years ago."
Yeah.
And
Energy felt stuck, and then figured you'd move on to flow into other energies.
no, it's just
Lost interest.
I moved
Yeah.
along. I
It
moved
wasn't your
on.
passion. Yeah.
It moved on.
Yeah. Kind of just fell
It
away.
was
Yeah.
it Yeah, it evolves into something else, and it keeps going. And that's how it just I just flow with whatever comes along for me.
Mhm.
So I don't define, oh, I'm this or I'm that. I don't put myself in a box.
That's great.
Yeah. It it just goes along. So if you ask me what am I now, I'm just this.
The presence that's right here, right now, that's always here.
Mm, mm, yeah, yeah. It's exciting because you don't know what's next. I don't
Yeah,
know
that
what's
does
next.
make it the spontaneity or the
Yeah,
unknown. You're
I
comfortable with
don't
the
know.
unknown. You're comfortable with the unknown.
You that's. what vulnerability actually means now.
Mm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
see how vulnerability in the human vernacular means something completely different, but now that's what that means. Vulnerability is I'm comfortable in the unknown.
Mm.
That's good. That I just got that.
Mm.
I was I wasn't able to identify that in words before. I knew it wasn't the all, but I wasn't able to actually. Vulnerability is being comfortable in the unknown. That's good. That's new.
Your intuition brought it out.
I know.
And just the mirror.
I hope I hope people actually get that. I hope many people get that because I think that's quite something that a lot of people find difficult. I've noticed
Mhm.
the unknown is quite a scary place for a lot.
Especially if you don't know what you truly are.
Yes, but even that, um, even with knowing what you truly are, if there's struggle with, okay, how do I pay my bills or whatever, you will. To just know that you will be okay. You're not here to be not okay,
Mhm.
you see? And that's the vulnerability. It's like, because it's unknown to the human,
Mhm.
how will I survive?
Mhm.
Is a great unknown to the human, and it is a scary place for the human.
Yes.
But knowing that you weren't meant to be here if you're not going to be okay. So let go into the unknown and just be present in the knowing that whatever you need is going to come to you, and it will.
Beautiful trust. You think it's
Trust.
harder for some people, like maybe like they're in parts of the world, maybe where there's war going on or things like that, that they're living bombs going off or things like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It would be very difficult for them to trust. I couldn't imagine that. And I actually, it is very scary. That'd be very scary.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I couldn't speak to that because I haven't lived that.
Yeah, I haven't
But
either.
to say, it would be callous of me to say, just trust.
Right.
Uh, it is,
The vulnerability is okay to even be there in that situation, and it's okay for the feelings to be there. It's not that we have to push the feelings away. We can
that's
feel
right.
whatever, we can feel all the feelings.
Yes,
They're okay to be here.
that's good because that's what I think is being called for. It's actually calling for one to be present with the scariness of it all. Be present with that and feel it, deeply feel it. Don't push things away because it'll just come back again.
Yeah, well. with a vengeance.
It'll come back again with a vengeance, like you said. So even when someone's sick or whatever, it's like, no, don't fight it. I mean, what's the word that people, when you have cancer, what people always say, oh, I'm going to fight it. Well,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're just actually putting all your energy into resisting it.
Right. What resists persists. Yep.
Yeah. You're placing all your energy into resistance. Allow it. Say, okay, what is it you want to show me? I'm out of alignment with my body. Okay, I accept that. So how do I do this? Work with it. Speak to your body. Work with it. Listen. Change something. Do what needs to be done. If medical intervention needs to happen, have it. But a lot of people just want to resist everything, and it's like, no,
It's not going to do any good.
no.
Welcome
We're
it.
here
Yeah.
in we're here in duality to actually experience the extremes.
Hmm.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. That's why duality is here. We're seeing, we have the extremes that we can see that are, it's almost like it's inverted, like the opposite of what our true nature is.
Yeah.
Our true nature is whole, complete, attributeless, happy, content, needs nothing, is full. And then it's almost like in duality, it's like inverted, like it's like the opposite, showing you the opposite of what your true nature is, in
Mm.
duality. But if you can see that,
That's what
um,
I that's what I wrote about in the blog post. So it's like, no, what's here is actually the opposite of. So what's here is just experiencing what is unreal, so you can experience and know what is real, and then you create from there. That's more real. What's created from here actually can collapse or fall apart at any time because it's not real.
would you say that the experience though that the human being is feeling is real? Like, because there could be people out there saying, well, Judith, I'm sick and I'm dealing with all this, or I'm feeling this stress or anxiety, or I have, you know, this
Yes,
problem. Like, are they really feeling those emotions of it?
yes, the emotions are there to be felt,
Hmm.
but to see through it. That's why go right into it, feel it, go right into it and feel it. It's there to be felt, not to be afraid. I'll tell you what, I had an interesting thing happen to me um, about a month, no, earlier this year. Suddenly my car conked out
Hmm.
and I went into panic. I went, oh no, what am I going to do? And then I caught myself. I went, aha, I got that. Nice try. There's an old fear. What am I going to do without my car? How am I going to get home? And I went, ha. It was one of those little clouds that just went, ah, here we go. We're going to give you this now. I went, I see right through that shit.
You saw
Forget
right
about
through
it.
that shit. Yeah.
I saw right through that shit.
And it just kept going.
And I went, got on my phone, rang up the roadside service, and went, you know what? It'd been playing up a little bit, and now I go to turn it over, and it got nothing. He said, it's just a battery. I
No
went, I
big,
know, it's
no
just a
big,
battery.
it's no big deal.
Put the battery in, I'm out.
See, that fear in
No
that mind
way.
always tries to make it so worse than what in
Exactly.
reality it's nothing. No big deal.
Exactly. So it's again, the survival mind, right?
Right.
So what we've been talking about is just that. And it's like, so I can't pay my bills. Okay, well, something will come up. Don't panic.
Right.
Something will come up. Shift that immediately. It's like, Oh, there you are. You're there to frighten me.
Mhm.
Shift it immediately. You are not the human surviving. You're the infinite being.
Big difference.
Limitless. Limitless. Big difference.
Huge. When you see it
Huge
that way.
difference.
Yeah, when you see it
Huge
that way.
difference. It's like you're giving all your power away to fear,
Yeah.
right? When we are the infinite being and we're the boss.
Yeah. We're the sovereign being. We get to decide how it rolls. Yeah.
I get to decide how this rolls.
Right.
Come in, fix my battery, write him a check, off you go. Done.
Yeah. Next.
I'm off. So it's simple when you
Yes.
actually see it that way. It's simple, but it can be frightening in the beginning. But it's like even with an illness, it's like, okay, don't get frightened about it. Go, okay, well, what do we need to do? Get back in sync with your body. Go and have whatever needs to be done.
Hmm.
Get on with it.
So you would say that's the kind of like the consciousness for most people now, but you foresee a new consciousness coming in.
Yes, absolutely.
Say more about the
Absolutely.
new consciousness coming in.
So the new consciousness coming in, I would say, would be, it'll take a little while. It'll take a while because everything must be accepted. So all of what we've experienced as a physical being, as the human, all our human experiences, physical experiences, must be accepted, cannot be pushed away. It's like, that's that person's problem, that somebody else did it to me, and this, that, and the other. No, it's all our experience, and everything must be accepted and loved within ourselves. Because that's how you love yourself. It's not like looking in the mirror saying, I love myself, I love myself. No, you don't. That's rubbish.
Hmm.
Loving yourself means something completely different. It is total acceptance of the self and everything we've been through.
So
Then
accepting it, yeah, owning it, yeah.
everything that we've been through. We don't point the finger at anyone else saying,
No
look what
blame,
that person.
yeah.
No blame, no blame, no projection. No pointing the finger saying, look what that person's doing and this person, and that's not spiritual, and none of that. None of that. Everyone is on their own journey and they will get there when they get there. It's not up to us. When you're fully accepting of yourself, you accept everyone else just the way they are. That's my understanding.
Perfect. Yeah, I see that.
So it's going to take a while for everybody to
So
get to
once
that
they do
point.
that, what's the new consciousness? Say more about the new consciousness.
Well, once they do that, then they're going to see how interconnected everything is. You know,
Unity.
everything is everything is interconnected. That everything actually comes from our own perception, our own field. We emanate this frequency which affects the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not, this is the way it happened for me. I'm no longer plugged into mass consciousness, let's say. I know it's happening, I know what's happening, but I'm not plugged into that consciousness. I'm actually affecting my field through my own resonance, through my own acceptance of everything that I am. And with that comes the understanding and more, I guess we would say, more responsibility of how I affect the field. So no longer will I project, like I said before, so and so is not doing it right, this, that, and the other. No longer will I do that. I won't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is I'm seeing, you see everything differently. So you see where everyone is and you accept where everyone is. You don't have to go follow them or put your energy into that. No, you can remain here and you see everything around you as okay. Everything is okay.
Love that.
It's all okay. It is where people are, and that's fine. They brought that in for their experience of whatever that is. And then you affect the field simply by putting out positive energy into creation. So you're now putting out, so like I said, now I put out whatever needs to be expressed in a positive way. Where it's going to go, I don't know. It doesn't matter where it's going to go. If it's going to go anywhere, it doesn't matter. I'm simply putting out that the energy that I've been understanding lately, which has a thread to my entire life really, is called the Sophia codes. So the Sophia code is the creation code that is at that essence level. We're creating all the time. We create in chaos, we create everything. Right? So we've created everything that appears. And once we actually realize and acknowledge that, that's a huge turning point. And I think that's probably where humanity is at the moment. They're just beginning to understand that they're actually creating
They
all of the
create
chaos.
so that everyone's creating their own reality, and a lot of people I hear are accepting that. The only ones that have a hard time with that are they would say, "Well, Judith, what do you mean? I'm creating, wars. I'm creating wickedness. I'm creating lack. Like, am I doing that subconsciously? Like, why? Like, anybody in their right mind, Judith, would just want everything to be like paradise here."
Yeah, yeah. You create it subconsciously until you clean up all of the programming, the belief systems
Yeah,
that we
the conditioning and the
ingested,
beliefs. Yeah.
all the beliefs, until we clean up all the beliefs, you keep creating from that place,
Mm.
from whatever that place is. That's what eventually you own all of that. You own it. You don't say, oh, yes, so and so. No, this is duality. That's why we came here.
Yeah, you can say, "Well, I accepted that. I subscribe to that belief." And now I see it now, and I see it doesn't really serve me or the field, or so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to unsubscribe to that belief because that's doesn't serve
Yes,
me, and that's
that's right.
not what I truly am. I'm joy, I'm love, I'm peace, and that's what I want to, the energy that I want to put out into the field.
Yeah. I'm the opposite of that. What's that? That's not me. I'm the opposite of that. But that momentum might keep playing for a little while. And
Mm.
that's where people sort of tend to fall down a little bit.
Hmm.
I know I did in that
Yeah,
space because
same.
the momentum of that, it's like, why is this appearing again? And I went, I got that. So the momentum of that will come in to see whether, are you really? Are you really? Are, are you really? And yep, I'm really through with that. Thank you.
Yep, I'm ready.
And off it goes, and it's done.
That's beautiful.
It's hilarious. It's actually it becomes quite fun and quite hilarious. I was driving down last morning, and pretty early, and I felt I stopped at the lights, and I felt, oh, I'm not fully in my body. I'm not fully in this body. So I just had to breathe. I just had a chuckle, and I just breathed. It gave me time while the lights, before the lights changed, to just breathe myself back into my body, and off I go. So it's wonderful. You're living like in outside looking in and inside looking. It's wonderful. It's fun.
So you could be up here, like looking outside, looking down, and then you could be or through the eyes looking out this way.
Mm.
Can you do it at the same time, or can you do here and there?
No, I don't. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm always that, but oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. From the astral, no, I had to actually come back into my body.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had to come back into my body to operate in this reality, because I'm still operating in this reality. We are, right?
yeah, yeah.
So you have to actually ground yourself, come back into this body, because I can fly out very easily, very easily. It's like, and so before, the vulnerability thing was, if I was too afraid of what was going on here, I'd just take off. I'm out of here.
So if you don't like the
I'm not
reality
staying.
that if you don't like the
I'm not
reality that's
staying.
here, you'd leave the body and
Yeah,
go.
I'd be out there. I'm out. And I was like, no, get back here. Ground yourself. Get back here. Find stability here. That's what I meant by find stability here first. Then you're limitless. Then you can go into limitlessness and out. You can't go out there and try to come back here. No, you'll
So
actually leave.
once you're grounded here, then you can leave the body and go limitless everywhere.
You can go all over.
What's that
Yeah.
like?
Astral traveling,
Yeah.
you need passion and imagination.
Oh.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm. So I would say, so this is a whole another topic, that what is consciousness and what is energy? Start
Consciousness
to
is consciousness is like the awareness, the aliveness. The energy is isn't it all the same? I don't know.
no, consciousness and energy. So um, and light. Everybody says love and light, but
Yeah.
they don't actually understand what that is truly. It's so consciousness is awareness,
Yeah.
you know that, and energy is the passion.
Oh.
So energy is passion. It's not love as in the old vernacular of love, right? That
Do you say
doesn't.
energy? Would you say it's energy in that it's an emotion? The emotion of passion?
Um, I wouldn't. Emotions are more attached to the physical. That's my kind of
Physical? You
understanding
see it
of it.
that way? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see it. You could use the word emotion, but I see it as passion is slightly different. There's no stickiness to it, whereas emotions have kind of a stickiness.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
true. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
They have like a kind of sticky glue of something that happened before. Passion is like clean, and it's fresh, and it's like exciting, and it's just there. You
Love
know,
that. I love
that's
that. That
that's
resonates.
passion. Yeah, that's passion to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so where were we going with this? I forgot where we were going
Doing
with
the
this.
astral traveling.
Oh, okay. So for me, it's so consciousness. You know your consciousness. You know that you are
Yeah.
like that's a given. So
Obvious. Yeah. Yeah.
you're firmly you're firmly embodied in that. You know, this is who I am, right? Which is consciousness, awareness. Passion then is the energy. And together that creates whatever you choose to experience next without that stickiness of the past. So I would say it's without the emotions and the stickiness of
Okay.
past creations. To go out into astral travel and all of that, you need imagination.
Mm.
Imagination is light, being able to actually see it, being able to imagine it and see it and be there in it.
Mm.
So, so, and it's different. It's not the same for everyone. It's not like mass consciousness that we got stuck in here. You're no longer stuck.
You're free.
You're free. So freedom comes before, you know. So what you're teaching is freedom,
Hmm.
right? What
Right.
you're actually giving people is freedom. What I want to teach people is how to get out, get your wings and get out there. That's what I teach. What I want to teach people. What I want to take people into. Rob will give you your wings. Get your wings and get the hell out. You don't have to stay here.
Where are you going
You
to take
can
them,
be
Judith? Where are you taking them?
you can be here in
Yeah.
physicality. You
Yeah.
don't have to lose. You don't have to get out of physicality. You can have the best of both worlds, where you can be here and enjoy everything that physicality has to enjoy, which is beautiful. It's beautiful. But you can also travel out and bring things back that
Ooh.
have never been here before.
Wow. Have you done that?
Yes,
Tell us.
yes. And I'm in the midst of doing that now. That's why I said to you, it's, you know, when I create works of art or when I speak or whatever, I don't know what it's for, where it's going. It's not my concern. You see,
Hmm.
it's like, well, it's like going back to Rothko. He didn't know what he was doing.
Right.
You know, he may have on one level, but there's Rothko. There's many painters, and I'll only would give you painters because that's was my thing. But there are many people, you know, scientists. Einstein didn't know what he was doing. There are musicians that didn't actually quite understand what they were creating at the time.
Right.
They were significant.
Yeah.
And Mozart, people like that, that really took you out of this world.
Hmm.
That's what that's for. So that's what you you then begin to create out of this world, but bring it into this world for here.
Love that.
So it's expansive and it's exciting. And
Very
one of the
expansive.
huh?
Mhm. Very
Yeah,
expansive. Yeah. What were you going to
it
say? Go
is.
ahead.
One of the things I love, especially now that it's winter, I love getting into bed really early because it gets dark at 5 o'clock. So,
Wow.
and I go, I'm out of here.
You're out? Where are you going, Judith?
And it's like,
You astro
I'm
traveling?
dreaming astral travel. So again, dreams become different. So
Right.
you're not actually dreaming physical stuff
Right.
per se. You're actually imagining
Imagine.
into into incredible. I've actually linked something on my website on my Facebook page as well. There's an artist, Jürgen Siever, and he's painted and he's done a lot of astral travel and all of that, and he's painted things. that are phenomenal. And he talks about this. And I was blown away when he spoke about Rothko the other day. I went, oh my God, I'm so excited because he's been doing this for a number of years and he's very interesting to
Mm.
actually read, and when you look at some of the stuff, you think, wow. So I put that on my website, and we can talk about that another
Yeah,
day.
maybe we
But
should let's close out with that. We've been on a while. Tell everybody what your website
yes,
is. If something resonates, they can contact you.
yeah, well, it's I can be found at judithnewmanartist.com, and my Facebook page. If anyone wants to meet up or link up, that's there. Um, I haven't done any videos for a long time, but I write every now and again on there, on the
Beautiful.
blog page.
That's beautiful. Thank you
Art and
so
effortless
much.
being.
Effort,
Thank
what'd
you
you say?
so much. Art and effortless being.
Art and effortless being. Okay. That resonates. I encourage you to contact Judith. What a beautiful being.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for coming on. It's been delightful.
Thank you, Rob, for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Yep. Much joy,
Okay.
much love.
Good night.
Good night.